Good morning. It's midterm time. Y'all like my hair? Half of it is hanging out the back. Wish me luck. Oh my god, I look ridiculous. So I just finished my ethics midterm. I got 78%. I'm happy with that. And I also have criminology on Mondays, but that midterm is not posted until Wednesday. I'm going to get ready for the day now and then do my errands and whatever. And when I come home, I'm going to work on my case study group assignment for my professional edge class, put that in to the Google Doc, and then maybe work on stats. We'll see how long it takes me to do the case study. We're doing a project on Rihanna. Yeah. I said yesterday that I wanted to talk about lockdowns. So I'm gonna do that. I'm currently getting ready for the day, so I'll be doing my makeup at the same time. But yeah, there's just some stuff that needs to be addressed here. And I hope that everyone can remember that everyone is entitled to their own opinion. My apologies that the camera's crooked. I can't do anything about it right now. I know that everyone feels differently about what's going on in the world, and that's okay. That's what makes people people. But I'm just gonna get into it because I don't want it to be a long thing. So if you guys don't know, I live just north of Toronto, and we have been in lockdown for the last month and a half, because we got locked down just after Christmas, and it just got lifted last week. So then we were into red zone, which is restricted conditions, which whatever, that's fine. So our businesses, local small businesses, big businesses that had to be closed, whatever it is, got the wonderful news that they would be allowed to open again. And not even 10 days later, it was announced that we would be going into another lockdown. I understand that precautions need to be taken to keep people safe from a virus, except that the precautions being taken in my area do not make any fucking sense. So not only are we forced to do our shopping at big box stores like Walmart or Costco or Loblaws, which whatever, like we do our shopping for the most part there anyway, but there is no way that that is safer than a small business that has to take extra precautions like sanitizing, taking your temperature perhaps, anything else. I know for a fact that in those big box companies, they are not walking around sanitizing every little thing that you touch. So there is really nothing safe about that. Yet if you go to get your hair done, for example, your temperature is taken. There's contact tracing, so they take your name and your number. Restaurants do the same thing. Doesn't make any sense. And now we have actually new lockdown rules, meaning actually that everything can stay open at max capacity except personal care. So things like hair salons, nail salons, tattoo parlors, restaurants. So I'm just having a very hard time understanding how it's a lockdown if all those things can still be open, but we can't, for example, go get our hair cut where our temperature is taken and they do screening questions, they take your name and number and follow all the proper protocols where only like 1 or 2 people, depending on how big the salon is allowed in at a time. So not only is that bothering me, but it's also bothering me that all these businesses and companies finally got the go-ahead to open up again, and not even 10 days later, the government was like, just kidding. So you just bought all this food, all these supplies, hired all your people back, and we're just gonna take it away from you. That's not okay. And I also want to talk about You can't, honestly, at this point, you can't convince me otherwise. Lockdowns are killing more people than COVID is. Suicide rates are on the rise. We just had someone in my local town jump off a bridge onto the highway trying to commit suicide. Overdoses are severely on the rise in my area, especially. Homelessness, people stuck at home in abusive homes. Terrifying. People are dying. You cannot, I'm sorry, but you cannot convince me otherwise that lockdowns are more deadly than COVID. That is, I can't. And I believe that lockdowns would probably work if we did it right. If a year ago we got our first case in Canada, if Trudeau closed the airports, closed the borders for 2 weeks, that's it. And you gave the public a week to go get groceries, medicine, essentials, anything that they're going to need for a 2-week period, and then lock everything down. Nothing is open. I believe that would have worked. But they didn't do that. It took them months to close the airport. And now we're in another lockdown, our third lockdown, where everything's allowed to be open except for select things. And I understand that everything being open will help some businesses, but what about businesses? What about gyms, salons, tattoo parlors? They're crying. They've had like hardly any business over the last year. This isn't fair, and it's not fair that people, especially government officials, are paying more attention to the deaths of this virus instead of the deaths of suicides, drug overdoses, abuse. Like I said, everything that I said. And let's also not forget about the fact that kids are not being socialized anymore because they're not in school. Now they are, but they spent half the year not in school. That is detrimental to especially little kids. School is where they get socialized. If they're not socialized, they won't know how to communicate properly. It's getting way out of hand, and I can't take it anymore. If they did it right, I am 100% behind it, but they didn't do it right 3 times in a row now. Nothing makes sense. It makes 0 sense that everything is allowed to be open. Winners, HomeSense, the grocery stores, the mall, but I can't go next door to sit down and have a meal with my boyfriend or my mom. I'm frankly fed up at this point. I have admired a lot of the things that our government has done towards the beginning. I do not admire that the airports were never closed. I'm gonna say it. I don't like to talk politics, but I'm gonna say it. I'm not a Trudeau supporter at all. I'm extremely, extremely happy that I'm seeing businesses fight back. Finally, people are starting to question what's going on. If this stuff made sense, then I would be 100% behind it. Like, please do not get me wrong. I know what is going on is serious. But the protocols, the rules, and the restrictions don't make any sense. So hence why other people aren't following. Like, if you go into a grocery store, there's arrows on the floor to follow, which a lot of people are really good at. I'm usually pretty good at that. But then I see the employees not following it, and I'm like, okay, what's the point? Lead by example. And then I see police officers pull people over. They're not wearing a mask. I actually, locally, we had someone get beat up by the cops for being on a skateboard. That's not the whole story. You can look it up. But he was literally on top of this kid, beating him up, not wearing a mask, and then 2 other cops showed up, neither of them wearing masks. It's almost as if COVID just doesn't apply to people in power. What to take away from this? What needs to be looked at is the fact that lockdown rules don't make any fucking sense. I can't say it any other way. They literally do not make any fucking sense this time around. You still can't go to your doctor. You can go get your teeth cleaned, but you can't go to the doctor. You have to do that over the phone. I said what I said. Take what you want with it. Voice your opinion if you want to. Yeah, please go ahead and voice what you want to voice. Or not at all, whatever. I want to know what other people think. I know I'm not the only one. I spend a lot of my time reading Facebook comments on CTV and stuff. So I know I'm not the only one. I even have people that I know that are nurses and PSWs that don't agree with what's going on. Okay, I'm done. It just doesn't make sense. Okay, so apparently the weather is really bad in town and it's starting to pick up a little bit here, so I'm just gonna wait until it dies down before I go run my errands. So I'm just gonna make something to eat because I was gonna hit up Tim's, but now I'm not. I'm gonna make some, like my own version of a breakfast sandwich. And then I'm gonna work on my Rihanna assignment. Hopefully get that done, and then I think I'm gonna clean up. We did a little bit of cleaning last night, took a lot of Christmas stuff down, which I know is so ridiculous. Like, it's March and it's still up, but I've explained it plenty of times in the vlogs. There's just no room for it in the basement right now with the reno. So yeah, I think I'm gonna tackle the dining room tree. It is freezing outside, and yeah, that's the plan. And then if I don't get to do my errands, then, well, I'd rather be alive than not do them, so yeah. Okay, I'm watching this YouTube video right now from Andre. I'm watching Andre's Baking While Baked, and I cannot stop laughing because, one, I smoke weed. I know exactly what's going on here. Like, the way they just like start laughing and the stupidest shit just like sets them off. Plus, the way Andre edits, like with his background music, and then the way he zooms in on people when they're eating and stuff, like, I literally can't stop laughing, and I don't usually watch these videos at all, but man, this shit is funny. Okay, the weather's died down a little bit. It's just really windy, so it blows the snow around a lot, which makes the visibility out here really bad. But I have a break now. It's not too bad, and it's not too bad in town either, so I'm just gonna run in and do the bank and then come home. I was gonna hit up the grocery store for some meat, but I can just do that tomorrow. So, yeah. Do you guys wanna undecorate my Christmas tree with me? That's what I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna just put some music on and vibe out because I can't fucking stand being in my head with my own thoughts right now about lockdowns. So thank you for letting me rant on here. I'm not gonna rant again, but thank you. Let's undecorate the Christmas tree and dance and vibe out to some music.